part 2 CO2 meter. The way this guy goes, I got to turn it on, wait for it. So it's got about a 30-second warm-up period where it's calibrated. It doesn't recalibrate. They call it a warm-up period, so I don't know. And then it'll begin reading the ambient CO2 level. So we're at 10 seconds. Let me get one of these masks on. This is a little harder. Well, I won't put a mask on yet. This is a little harder to do because I gotta get this thing up into the mask. So, all right. So right now we're at 493 parts per million. This is not good ambient air. 508. It's 92 degrees, 63% humidity, 529. I actually find that this thing's pretty sensitive. I'm sitting near a road. I don't know. I haven't checked to see if it's really sensitive here. But if I sit on my porch, at the very edge of my porch where I'm getting a little bit of cross ventilation and a car passes by, generally going slower than the ones that are passing by on this road, I'll actually see this go up. There's been sort of steady traffic. I find that it actually picks up. Yeah, it's actually gone up with like 3 or 4 cars go by. It's up to 535, 536. Huh. 538. And it did get down as low as like 450 earlier. Wow, 541. Not good air. Should be 350 to 450, they say, exterior. And good indoor air quality is about 800 parts per million. Acceptable is like 1,000 to 1,100. We're at 542. Not good air here. All right. So that's where it is. Now, if I hold this just near my face and talk and breathe on it a little bit, you know, like right in front of my face. Breathe on it like this. It's not going to alarm. I'll explain that in a minute. All right, we've gone up. Just bear with me. 720, 740. In through the nose, just breathing regularly out. Much like I try to do if I'm wearing a mask. Oh, I didn't expect it to alarm. Never mind. Let me just do it a little longer. I'm tired. Bear with me. All right. All right, so I've gotten up. We topped out about 2450, and it's going back down from there. I got to about 2450. This is backwards, so that would be 2243, 2115. Now we're down to 1989, I think that is, and it's going to keep dropping. Now this is set to alarm. I was actually able to calibrate this myself. Not calibrate it, but set the alarm level. So I think it alarms at 1100, which is maybe not really great, but this is like sort of like kind of the top end of like acceptable indoor air. So we're at 1290, 1200. Once it gets down below 1100, it's going to stop alarming. We're at 1126, and then 1050. Yeah, so I have it set for 1100 to alarm. So it's going to go back down somewhere. It's going to go back down pretty quickly if I just leave it alone to the ambient air temperature. And I'm going to wait a minute to let it do that, 800s. I wanted to do that to show you with the thing right by your face. But you're not breathing in this air right by your face. You know, necessarily like. You can be in a stuffy situation, right? Like if you're sitting and there's just no air passing. I feel like I don't have enough oxygen with all this mask wearing and stuff. All right, we're down in the 600s, so it's almost back down to normal. Bad normal. It's not a good day for air, but you know, you're walking, you're getting a breeze pass by your face, you don't breathe as quickly. I mean, I've said one of the things that happens is an increased heart rate, and also your breathing will increase, your breathing rate will increase. And so shallower breaths, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, and letting that carbon dioxide build up in the space around your face. And I mean, Teresa and I've had her do it, I've done it, we've done multiple tests with these things, walking around, holding it by our face, right on our face, away from our face. I just wanted to I wanted to be fair. I'm not going to just tell you, oh, look at that, I got 560 parts per million, bad air, by the way. And then all of a sudden, what you're going to see with the mask. No, I mean, if you hold it right by your face, it might get up into the 2000s. But one of the things I find is it sort of settles back down if I leave it by my face. Right now, where I'm sitting by my van, my door is like blocking my breeze. I got the little window open, and there's a little bit of air on this coming from here, but it's kind of a stagnant area. Now you can't see, well, the trees are hardly moving. So we'll try this paper mask. Put this over here over my beard. I don't even like to wear this very long. I don't know what chemicals are in this thing. And if you haven't seen the videos of the sweatshops making these things, dragging them across the floor, God help me, this thing smells too. So I'm just going to try to get this up under here, and you can kind of get an idea. It's just sitting in front of my face. I'm going to hold it here for a second and breathe. Trying to show you, it takes a minute. I'm a little impatient. I'm just going to give you a quick idea. I'm not even going to show you how bad it gets. You can have to take my word for it, I guess, you know. Alright, so we're almost to 6,000 parts per million. This is still climbing because it topped out at 6185. I'm holding it right here. Believe me or don't believe me, I'm holding it right there. I'm not putting it in my mouth and do it. I'm just breathing in through my nose. Just like that, just breathing in and out. Okay? And just doing this right now. It's still going down. 3,000. It'll come down under 2,000 probably, with this thing right by my face. I can't talk to you and do the thing, you know, like showing you exactly, but I've done this experiment with the CO2 meter, wearing this mask, which isn't bad. Better, typically, than the paper mask, which isn't horrible, but it's bad. And this, which is bad. Actually, I don't think I did it with this one. Oh, I did. With every one, within 1 minute, within a minute, I consistently, because I've tried this several times, had this. Now we're back down under 1100, so it's not alarming anymore. I've had this CO2 meter top out. It'll go to 9,999 parts per million. That's all it'll read is 4 digits. And so if it hits quadruple zeros, We've gone to 10,000. Did it stay right at 10,000? I don't know. All I can do is speculate beyond that at how fast it goes from where we're at, ambient air temperature, 500 maybe, 450 parts per million, and then like, 45 to 55 seconds. Within the minute, I'm over 10,000 parts per million, and it's climbing. It was climbing rapidly. Where do we stop? I have no idea. But we get to 10,000 parts per million. 6,000 to 3,000, 6,000 to 30,000 parts per million in a short-term situation is cause for concern, medically speaking. And OSHA, you take your weighted average for an 8-hour day, that average can't be above 5,000 parts per million. I'm way past 5,000 parts per million with every one of these masks. I don't know, do you need me to show you all of these things? Put this thing on. I know you can't see under the mask, but hopefully you can tell just by looking at the size of it that I'm not shoving it in my mouth. I'm just putting it right in front of my mouth. And I wonder how well I can show you this here. I'm just going to breathe on it, see what it does. That was 3 breaths. It alarmed. It's not even tight here. I'm over 3,000. I'm not even trying, I still got air under here. I'm talking, which I find consistently makes it not as bad. 8,000. 9,700. We've topped it out. I'm over 10,000. That happened like that, man. Like that. There was like no time at all. I still can shove my finger in here. This isn't tied tightly around my nose. I mean, I hope you can tell by like the sound of my voice. What would this be reading? I'm not gonna keep wearing this thing. Watch how quickly it comes back down. I mean, there's a lot of, there's so much CO2 in the meter. This makes me wonder how much past 10,000, how much CO2 is actually inside this meter for this thing to be alarming. Once it comes down off of these zeros, watch what happens. See, this is what concerns me. I wear that thing for like 30 seconds. Wow. This thing tops out. It still hasn't started coming off of the quadruple zeros yet. Wow. There it goes. Once it starts, watch what happens. It just drops, right? 83 from 92. 72. You see how it drops? Like, it's not telling me. The meter, the readout is not telling me how far past 10,000 I am. But it takes some time for it to get off of those quadruple zeros. Do you hear what I'm saying? And then once it does, once we hit 9,000, look at it drop. How high does that go? 30,000 parts per million, 3% CO2 is significant. That is a huge problem. That's a fact. That's not conspiracy. So this thing's gonna come back down. We're 2,900. What else to show you? I mean, I'll do one more mask and then my last one to just kind of make the point. And this is nothing. Like a doubled up. I'm watching people. I was at this job I'm working at. It's a condominium. And I was talking to a plumber. Guy had an N95 mask on. And one of those like neck things that you can pull up over your face, which are like super thick. We're almost back down to normal here. He's got that over it going into an apartment. Part of the reason he did that is he said the lady had a dog and it smelled, but whatever. So we're back down under. I'm not going to wait for it to get to ambient air. How in the hell can you breathe in that thing? So I'm going to put this under here now. We're in the 800s. See what happens. I'm just going to put it right up by my lip. It's right up by my bottom lip. And I do find that with this black mask, I mean, I wear this because it's way more comfortable than wearing these like store-bought respirators. I hate those things. Okay, so I'm already alarming. I can't show you, but there's a big hole back here because I can't cover my whole face with this. In through my nose, out through my mouth. I'm over 10,000. It's right there. The top of it's right there. This is the bottom of my nose. There's this. My mouth is here. I'm over 10,000. In a minute. In a minute. Whatever. How many breaths was that? A dozen? I don't know. 20? I don't know. I'm not counting. But what the... You're just going to wear your mask? I'm reading these. I'm reading these articles they're putting out telling you what to make your mask out of. Double-sided, tightly woven cotton with a flannel lining. I'm seeing things that people are wearing. Come on, man. Look this up for yourself. Now this one's harder. This is harder to do. I gotta like just stick it up in my beard. Where are we at here? 2,000. We're almost ready to come back down to where it would stop alarming. This isn't even in front of my mouth. It's over here. Over 10,000. Needed a break. Whew. Over 10,000. So, I'm printing up everything I can find. Brandon, the Big Sib, he's got some really good information about his experiences, you know, wearing a mask. He studies the law, you know, and he's really knowledgeable. Does anybody have the right to mandate that you do yourself harm? You can listen to the talking heads on the news programs telling you that masks are safe. I wanted to believe, I'm down to 3,100. It's almost back down again. And I don't know what else to say. Like, this is just, I know it's anecdotal, but like, if I hold this in front of my face in the open air and breathe until it kind of, you know, gets up to whatever, 2,000, 2,500, which is about the worst I'll see holding it by my face in the open air, it comes right back down again. But after holding this under a mask and breathing on it for a dozen, 2 dozen breaths and having it top out over 10,000, it comes down more slowly. There is a sensor of some kind in there, like somehow like collecting CO2 particles to measure. And like it takes a while for it to clear back out. It's not just the sensor. I mean, where is it? It's not clearing out, you know? I don't know where the sensor is. Is it internal? Is it just right here? There's something inside there. We're almost done alarming. We'll just wait till then. There we go. Tolerable indoor air quality. So I was hopeful because I'm non-confrontational. I don't want to get in a fight with anybody, you know, like nobody has a right to tell me to wear a mask. It is against my natural God-given right, and it's against my civil rights. It's against my rights because this is, first of all, it's stupid. We don't even know. There's so many things on the books. Like, you need to be recognizable at all times, but if in a state of emergency, the governor can declare that you can wear a mask temporarily. But we don't even know if we're breaking some law or statute by not being recognizable. Can you conceal carry your weapon? Can you open carry your weapon in open carry state? Can you do this activity or that activity while having your face covered? Or are you breaking a law? Public servants like police officers are supposed to be recognizable at all times, and you got these guys walking around with masks on their face. But I thought, I don't feel like fighting this fight, frankly. I feel like there's bigger fights to fight. There's more important infringements on my God-given natural rights as a human being, as a man, to worry about. And so, hey, if I got a mask that I can get away with wearing that does not lessen, because I bought the O2 meter first, my percentage of oxygen in a noticeable way, and so I'm telling you that I have not seen less than 20.8 or 20.7 ever wearing this thing on my face. Now, I did not have the same, this shut off. This shuts off automatically to save the batteries. I'm going to turn it back on. Now it's got its warm-up period. I really was hopeful. I'll just be honest with you. I'm not a wimp. I'm not afraid. We've made a lot of choices, Teresa and I, over the years, which are so different than what everybody else does. And if we were so freaking scared of what the hell everybody else thought, we wouldn't do it. Brian from High Impact Vlogs, he has a really great. It's not his saying, but first time I've really paid attention to it. I'm not. This is better, like so much better than just wearing a doubled up bandana or any of these other things. But this is not tight on my face. It's open on the bottom. This is a thin material. I already don't feel great wearing this thing. You say you're fine wearing the mask. Fine, I don't believe you. 491. He says, he draws a distinction between conformists and moralists. If you're a conformist, you do what you're told regardless of whether or not it's right. If you're a moralist, you do what's right regardless of what you're told. I'm not going to strap masks on all of my kids that are over 2 years old, knowing what I know about this meter, picking up this level of carbon dioxide, and knowing what I've been able to research readily in a number of, oh my gosh. I've looked in so many things with regard to hypocapnia and the short-term effects and there's no studies out there telling you exactly what's happening when you're spending a day breathing in 10,000 parts per million. But it's not safe according to OSHA. There are real health effects, symptoms of health effects, but what's actually going on in your body, it's a big deal. So anyway, I was hopeful that I could wear this mask and fight a different fight. But we have done experiments where we just put this thing up under here and hold it in here and breathe. And get really concerning results. I'm just breathing in through my mouth or in through my nose and out through my mouth. The sensor itself is well below my mouth. The top of the plastic housing is right below my lip. Oh, this is the first time I've ever seen it for me personally. Over 10,000. Dang it. Over 10,000. This isn't even tight around my face down here. So, and here it is. It's still quadruple zeros. Still quadruple zeros. It hasn't even begun to come down yet. I don't know what that means exactly, right? Like, I don't know if that means I'm 20,000, 30,000, and it's taken that long to come down. I think maybe it is. I think, like, it reads, like, if it's possible to say that it reads that high, like, it's sensing CO2 levels that high, but it's not showing me on the readout. Because here it comes. Once it gets down to 9,000, it's just dropping again. It's coming down like 800, 900, 1,000 parts per million at a time. So when I'm staring at it at 0,000 and waiting for it to come down back into the 9,000 range, like, where is it? Again, I know that's just speculation on my part, but here we are. 3,100, coming back down, 27, 24, 22. It takes a while to get back below 10,000. So I did a test where it was under 5,000. I did it kind of quickly, and I said, oh, well, I'm disappointed, but the mask is, it's keeping it under 5,000. Maybe it's okay. And I only did one test. And then I started thinking about this mask wearing thing, and I thought, I got to know for sure. For me, I'm down to 1,142. It's got to stop alarming. I got to know for sure. If I wear that mask, am I breathing in an excessive amount of CO2? And I tested it and got up into the 9,300 range. And I stopped, and I told Teresa about it. And she did several different things. She walked around, she tied it on her face, she left it hang, she put it over here on the side, she put the meter over here, down here, way up in front of her face, and she consistently was getting test results where it would top out over 10,000. So 10,000. And maybe that was more than a minute. This mask is way better than anything else we've tried, this thing that we came up with. Look at it. You can see me through this thing. Open on the bottom, one layer of fabric, organic linen, cotton. Because what the hell chemicals are you breathing in all day wearing this? Do you know that cotton is one of the most chemically sprayed crops? I think it is the most chemically sprayed crops. It is estimated that it takes 1/3 of a pound of chemicals to produce 1 pound of cotton. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're talking about glyphosate, and so you got herbicides and insecticides being sprayed on cotton, and then cotton fabrics are treated with all sorts of things, flame retardants, forever chemicals. Unless you're really careful to get something that's got natural dye. You got all your cute little designs on your mask, double layers of stuff that's totally full of chemicals. There's so many things to consider here. But and I can't measure all that, but just measuring the carbon dioxide. I'll share links, but 10,000 parts per million, 1%, 1%, not 0.1%. 1,000 is 0.1%. 10,000 is 1%. 1% of the air you're breathing being carbon dioxide is too much. According to OSHA, your weighted average for an 8-hour workday can't be more than 5,000 parts per million. I'm not going to read it all off to you. You could be passing out at 40,000 parts per million. What about, maybe you don't actually hit 40,000. Maybe you get up to 25,000 parts per million, which, I don't know. All I can do is speculate because I don't have a meter that goes higher than that, and I can't afford to buy one if there is one. But as quickly as this goes from ambient air, 500 parts per million, to over 10,000 parts per million, where does it stop? And even if you don't get to the level of passing out, what are you doing to yourself inside? You tell me that's not harming you, you're the fool, not me. And does anybody else have the right to tell you that you have to harm yourself? That's the question you got to ask. All of these masks, even the best thing we could come up with, and I haven't even tried the worst things that people out there you might be wearing. All of these things go past 10,000 parts per million within a minute. What does that do to you all day? It's not good. So I just wanted to share that. There's other things to talk about. I wanted to share my own test results. So, share it. Feel free to share it. Look into it for yourself, I don't know what you spend money on. I got a lot of other things I could spend money on instead of hundreds of dollars on meters. But I'm not strapping a mask on my face or telling my wife it's okay for her to wear one, and we're going to strap them on our kids' faces and not know not know, because we're told constantly that we're in unprecedented times. Well, when the hell has the population been told to wear a mask all day, every day? That's unprecedented. And do we have any idea what that's doing to our health? We're already acidic. We're already not getting enough oxygen. We already have all sorts of problems that this is exasperating. This can't be giving you symptoms of the COVID. People are going to the hospital and they're not feeling good. Man, this is concerning. I just want to share with you what I'm finding. I've got no reason to deceive anybody. I wanted to believe that I could breathe through this thing and it wasn't going to hurt me. I wanted to believe it. But it's not true. Shalom, friends. Wake up. Take some time to look into these things for yourself.